Hi, this is Sally's Book Club. Tune in daily for global literary gems, carved just for you. Today we're decoding the psychology of procrastination, your battle plan against chronic delay. Everyone procrastinates sometimes. Imagine your paper's due tomorrow and you haven't even started. You're panicking. What should I do? Yet you mindlessly scroll through news websites instead. Or you keep postponing diet plans thinking, I'll eat less next meal or I'll exercise tomorrow. This book is the ultimate remedy for procrastinators. Authors Jane Burka and Lenora Yuen are world-leading experts on procrastination. They established the world's first procrastinators group therapy program back in 1979. For over 3 decades, they focused solely on studying procrastination. This book has remained a psychology bestseller for 30-plus years since publication. It's helped millions worldwide break free from procrastination's grip. So where's the secret to overcoming procrastination? Let's dive in. This 257,000-word book has 18 chapters. We'll explore through 3 key questions to end your delays. First, why do you procrastinate? Second, solutions for procrastination. Third, how to deal with chronic procrastinators. Let's start with the first question. Why do we delay? Procrastination's like quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. To conquer it, understand its psychological mechanisms first. The authors reveal procrastination isn't about time, management, or morality. It's complex psychology. We'll examine 4 roots: emotions, relationships, family dynamics, and time conflicts. Discover how you became a procrastinator. First, emotional roots. Procrastinators aren't calm. They're filled with anxiety and self-blame. Why endure such misery just to procrastinate? Because they're avoiding even worse feelings they can't face. Procrastinators fear giving their all and still failing. That would expose their inner fragility and anxiety to others. Such pain feels unbearable to them. They fundamentally fear rejection of their true selves. Thus, they use procrastination to desperately avoid this agony, like the project manager delaying bid submissions, torturing himself with guilt. He hates losing bids more. Failure means personal inadequacy. Failure equals complete worthlessness in his mind. So he avoids real competition through delay. Beyond fear, emotions like hope, doubt, and pressure fuel procrastination. The book describes a divorced woman postponing financial tasks, even bill payments. She later realized hidden expectations drove this behavior. She secretly hoped a man would handle her finances. Fearing financial independence would mean losing care from others. Unlike her, many procrastinators don't recognize these hidden emotions. They're escaping. Cognitive behavioral therapy proposes a fundamental concept. Stress originates from our perceptions, not events themselves. Emotional distress stems from internal beliefs, not external factors. Procrastination often roots in unconscious hidden beliefs. Some secretly believe, I must be perfect. Or if I show my true self, people will reject me. Or if I follow others' rules, it means I'm surrendering control. These beliefs share one trait. They make people fear action's consequences. Where do these beliefs originate? Psychology shows our beliefs often stem from influential figures' values. Parents, teachers, or respected authorities. These internalized values create lasting psychological impacts. How do past relationships contribute to procrastination? Now let's examine procrastination's social roots. Role models play crucial roles in forming procrastination habits. You might idealize certain qualities in parents or friends, but idealized success models become impossible to emulate. Thus, you delay to avoid feeling inferior to these ideals. Consider a college student's childhood teacher influences. One teacher was efficient, but emotionally distant. Another was disorganized, but full of vitality and warmth. The student mistakenly linked efficiency with coldness, vitality with chaos. He believed success required exact imitation of both models, since simultaneous imitation proved impossible. He procrastinated to avoid internal conflict. Family relationships represent our closest social bonds. Finally, let's explore how family attitudes fuel procrastination. Family influence is more profound, yet harder to detect. Thus, this becomes the author's focal point in discussion. From birth, we absorb family-instilled concepts about identity and capability. When these concepts are flawed, trouble inevitably follows. The authors identify 5 fundamental family dynamics fueling procrastination. These dynamics are pressure, doubt, control, dependence, and neglect. First, achievement-driven families create pressure dynamics. Prestigious families expect generational excellence. Dissatisfied parents project ambitions onto children. In such environments, only extraordinary performance earns approval. Mediocrity brings familial contempt, breeding perfectionists who equate failure with catastrophe. Seeking help signifies weakness. Excellence should require no effort. This terror of failure leads to decision paralysis. Procrastination becomes self-sabotage, protecting ego by avoiding true tests of ability. Consider a tech firm employee delaying tasks despite career ambitions. Why sabotage promotion chances through delay? Rooted in childhood, academically successful, yet never enough for pressure-driven parents. Bring honor to our family. Expectations made any failure intolerable. Work performance became existential, proof of personal worth. By delay, he avoids confronting his true capabilities and self-worth. Secondly, in families dominated by doubt, parents directly or indirectly question their children's capabilities. Statements like, "math isn't for girls," become self-fulfilling prophecies through constant repetition. They approach challenges hesitantly, abandoning efforts at the first obstacle, reinforcing self-doubt. Thirdly, controlling families. Micromanage children's lives, overriding their autonomy. Constant directives make children feel they lack rights to independent thought. As adults, they use procrastination to rebel against controlling figures through passive resistance. Procrastination becomes their mechanism to reclaim control from authority figures. Delays create illusionary freedom, making them feel unshackled by rules. Fourthly, enmeshed families discourage children from building independent lives. Overprotection breeds dependency and undermines self-reliance. Pursuing personal goals feels like betraying family expectation. Procrastination maintains family ties by sabotaging success that might create distance. A restaurant manager's story illustrates this enmeshment dynamic. Her chronic delays were crippling the business she built. rooted in familiar beliefs that women should focus solely on domestic roles. Her career success conflicted with traditional family values. Growing professional success triggered fears of familial abandonment. Self-sabotage through delay became her way to maintain family connections. Finally, the opposite dynamic, emotionally distant families. These families lack emotional bonds, shared interests, or sense of protection. Emotionally distant families leave children feeling isolated during crises. Adult independence triggers emptiness and loneliness from childhood patterns. Procrastination becomes avoidance mechanism for solitary tasks. These are the 5 family dynamics influencing procrastination. Challenging deep-rooted family beliefs causes immense psychological pain. This explains why procrastination resists simple solutions. It's not habit modification, but fundamental identity reconstruction. Fourth aspect, time perception conflicts, causing delays. Another procrastination type stems from subjective bias-subjective time clash. Subjective time refers to our personal experience of duration. It differs fundamentally from clock-measured objective time. Time perception varies, sometimes flying, sometimes crawling. Multiple factors affect this temporal experience. Focus and emotion alter time perception. Deep concentration stops clock awareness. Cultural influences shape time concepts significantly. American culture bonitizes punctuality as respect. Middle Eastern Spanish cultures view time as flexible. Cross-cultural work teams frequently experience scheduling conflicts. Subjective time evolves through life stages. A measured time perception and life phases fuel procrastination. Infants experience pure subjective time, no clock concept. Their timeline, hunger now, to feeding moment, delayed needs fulfillment, creates infant distress. This primal time perception underlies later procrastination patterns. If adult time perception remains infantile, anxiety feels endless and unbearable. Procrastination becomes their escape mechanism. Teenagers perceive time as infinite, indifferent to its passage. Adults stuck in teenage time perception face career and financial crises. This explains why chronic procrastinators seem immature. A 20-year-old not saving for retirement is normal. But a 45-year-old delaying retirement, planning risks future disaster. Why do people cling to early time concepts? The book doesn't provide definitive answers. Psychological theories suggest death, anxiety plays key role. Childhood and adolescence buffer mortality awareness. Aging intensifies death anxiety's psychological impact. Subconscious defenses emerge against existential dread. Refusing psychological maturation becomes coping mechanism. Some procrastinators outright reject objective time. Subjective time adherence causes social conflicts and delays. This false time control brings both power and frustration. Example: manuscript requiring weeks' work gets 3-day rushed attempt. Subjective time distortion guarantees missed deadlines. This concludes part 1's exploration of procrastination. We've identified 4 root causes of chronic delay. First root, emotional avoidance. Procrastinators flee from unbearable feelings like fear. Second root, idealized role models we futilely try to replicate. Imitating perfect ideals becomes mission impossible. This fear of imperfection drives avoidance through delay. Third root. Family dynamics. Most attainable, yet overlooked. 5 family patterns. Fuel procrastination. Pressure, doubt, control, enmeshment, neglect. Rewriting family imprinted beliefs proves painfully difficult. This explains procrastination's stubborn resistance. Fourth root. Temporal dissonance. Clash between subjective time, perception, and reality causes miscalculations. Developmental stage time mismatch creates procrastination traps. Does this revelation resonate with you? Now understanding procrastination's complexity, let's tackle solutions. Next, practical techniques to combat chronic delay. Second question, how to treat procrastination. 5 key strategies from the book. Technique 1. Create procrastination audit list. Catalog your delay patterns. Understand triggers and behaviors. Document 2-3 procrastination episodes, context, triggers, emotions. Analyze outcomes. What finally happened? Identify recurring themes in your delays. List external consequences, financial loss, conflicts, career impacts. Track internal costs, shame, exhaustion, isolation, physical symptoms. Step 3. Create another list identifying your procrastination zones. Analyze which tasks consistently trigger delays versus timely completion. Identify the crucial differences between these two categories. Document your procrastination excuses. Recognizing rationalizations creates self-awareness opportunities. Technique 2. Set SMART goals after historical analysis. Redefine objectives with actionable precision. What constitutes an actionable goal? Specific, realistic, and practical parameters. Replace vague goals like "all right" with concrete targets. Example, complete chapter introduction within 2 hours. Secondly, observable and measurable outcomes. Example goal, update, resume, and upload by EOD. Break goals into visible steps. Each milestone becomes trackable progress. Schedule specific times for each incremental step. Focus exclusively on single-step execution during allocated periods. Assign non-negotiable deadlines to microgoals. Example, 30-minute focus sessions. Shorter durations boost initiation. 15-30-minute blocks prove most effective initially. Completion, success, lies in dedicated time investment, not just outcomes. This builds self-trust and confidence through consistent action. Technique 3. Implement unschedule. Post-goal planning tool. Time management remains crucial for chronic procrastinators. The unscheduled weekly planner documenting all mandatory tasks. Record only essential obligations, not aspirational tasks. Log all obligations with time durations in your unscheduled. Blank spaces represent available time slots in this planning tool. This method improves time estimation accuracy through practice. Stop waiting for perfect blocks of time. Utilize fragments effectively. Achieve goals through incremental progress, using spare moments. The unschedule also serves as visual progress tracker. Example, Each grid represents 1 hour. Shade half grid for 30 minutes worked. Full grid for 60 minutes. Weekly shaded grids boost motivation through tangible achievement evidence. This self-reward system creates positive reinforcement loop. Detailed implementation requires studying the book's methodology. Technique 4. Master strategic refusal. Procrastination often masks inability to decline requests directly. Life's ultimate non-renewable resource demands protection. Each individual only receives one lifetime allocation. Practice rejecting time-wasting people and activities. Decline chaos, digital addiction, and toxic relationships firmly. Simultaneously embrace, support relationships and assistance. Discuss goals with accountability partners for feedback. Establish mutual monitoring systems with progress partners. Use social gatherings as rewards for achieved milestones. Prioritize passion projects over obligatory delays through conscious choice. The final anti-procrastination technique, mindfulness-based stress reduction. The authors propose mindfulness meditation as pressure relief. Mindfulness means focusing undivided attention on the present moment through breathing exercises. How to practice specifically. First, anchor attention on breath. Consciously feel inhalation, exhalation patterns. Maintain awareness of respiratory sensations and bodily responses. Gently redirect focus when mental wandering occurs. Without mindfulness, physical stillness masks mental chaos. Expand awareness from breath to thoughts, cultivating self-understanding and inner peace. Additional stress relief methods can be found in the book. We won't enumerate all techniques here. This concludes Part 2's solutions. Recapping procrastination treatment strategies. 5 core methods. 1. Procrastination audit through listing behaviors. 2. Setting actionable SMART goals. 3. Time control via unscheduled system. 4. Strategic refusal and social support utilization. 5. Mindfulness practice for stress management. Some listeners might wonder, what about those suffering from others' delays? How to cope when constantly impacted by procrastinators. Third question. How to deal with chronic procrastinators in your life. First, adjust your mindset before implementing strategies. 1. Recognize your limited influence over others' behavior. You and the procrastinator are separate entities. Guidance, not control. 2. Establish collaborative partnership, not authoritarian. Prioritize what matters most in your relationship with the procrastinator. Focus on core relationship aspects rather than solely eliminating delays. Tailor approaches based on relationship dynamics. Different connections require different strategies. For procrastinating children, implement previously discussed methods with parental adaptation. Reward effort and persistence, not just outcomes. Respect children's autonomy while fostering responsibility. Discuss perfectionism and fears through open dialogues. Practice active listening with genuine curiosity about their experiences. Help children manage obstructive emotions through empathetic guidance. With procrastinating colleagues, establish clear task boundaries and consequence agreements. Collaboratively set incremental milestones with progress reminders. Acknowledge every advancement to build their self-appreciation. Calmly address specific problematic behaviors and their impacts on you. Highlight their inherent value beyond task performance capabilities. Reduce failure anxiety through value reaffirmation. Procrastinators' outward strength masks inner vulnerability and anxiety. They crave acceptance and emotional security. Offer compassion to those struggling with human imperfections. This concludes strategies for assisting procrastinators in your life. Apply Part 2's methods collaboratively while respecting autonomy. Affirm their inherent worth while providing patient support. Let's summarize the book's key insights. First, complex causes, rooted deepest in family influences, often unnoticed by procrastinators. Additional factors, role model dynamics, internal fears, and distorted time perception. Second, 5 treatment methods, behavioral audits, SMART goals, unscheduled system, strategic refusal, and mindfulness practice. Third, implement these strategies collaboratively with procrastinators. Respect their autonomy while affirming inherent worth through patient support. Remember, pursue success and joy within an imperfect world. This concludes our exploration of the psychology of procrastination. Keynotes below. See you tomorrow.